The following is a special presentation of iRacing on LSRTV, your home for sim racing. Live tonight from the Lanier National Speedway, LSRTV with you to say good evening, sim racing fans, and welcome to week number 6 of the Fort Chiswell RV Park CEA Weekly Dirt Series presented by LSRTV on your home for sim racing and iRacing Live, where tonight it is Summer Twins Night with the Weekly Dirt Series cars as we welcome you inside of the LSRTV booth alongside of myself, Evan Pasoko, joined by Andrew Cardinale down in the production trailer, Cisco Scaramuza, twisting, tweaking the dials, bringing us to you this evening. And Andrew, a lot of great racing coming up. We're going to have four different actually divisions in the works tonight, but we also have a lot of sets of those twin features. You're going to see the Pro Late models and the UMP Modifieds both twice a piece over the course of the night. They're going to start the night out for us, they're going to close the night out for us, and then of course we also have some Super Street.
To a stop there going off at a turn 3, but I think definitely the worst driver hit there is going to be the 83 of TJ McGuire. That's going to be the worst damage there, so see the replay up on your screen. A really early caution here, and it really looks like the 83 of McGuire just didn't get going on the start, then tried to make up for it, threw it off into turn 1, and by that time he had the 18 tooth outside. That was Robinson. And, you know, once you get two big cars together here, I should say, Broom runs out, and suddenly you have a big wreck like you had right there down the back straightaway. With that action further back, though, Richard Reagan will hang on to your lead position. Hunter Poston still in second place. And it's going to be hard for that 58 to unseat Richard Reagan from the lead. You really got to be up on it on the restart or get a bit of a long run in, but we'll see what these guys can do. Jesse Isidore down on the bottom side, he's restarting third. As we get ready to come back to the green flag for the first restart of the night. Again, it's Richard Reagan down on the bottom side coming to the restart zone. He's off and away, gets up on that J-bar, and that time Poston held his nose to the outside. We'll see as he tries to work that outside line in just a little bit. Peterson checks up. Actually, I believe that was, Christian Peterson there in the 71 car. Down to the inside, there's a 666 of Isidore. A little bit of contact there with the 58. They get going just fine. Now Peterson around the outside. Merchant down low. They're trying to take over the third position. Both of them actually are trying to take that third position from Isidore. Neither one going to take it for now, but DeMerchant into fourth. Contact out of 4. They hang on to it. Richard Reagan continues to lead. Meanwhile, here comes the 97. Contact again. That time Isidore gets completely shoved out of line. Hangs onto the car but loses a ton of positions, and that was DeMerchant that got into him. Now the 97 of David Sutton down to the bottom side. He's working right down on that inside wall. Currently lap 8 of 25 in the first twin for these Blue Shine Pro Late models. And David Sutton still working the bottom side. DeMerchant up top as Richard Reagan continues to lead over Hunter Poston. Those two are just dragging away from this field so far. Now it's going to be Peterson lining up behind DeMerchant down on the bottom side, and that is Lyde getting in line as well. The 22 starting to become alive. Further behind him is Isidore, who we saw get shoved out of line earlier on. Further on back, completing your top 10 would be Charlie Melvin and Lee Daniel Robinson, and Dustin Hall in 10th place. Those guys are all battling for those respective positions, but back up to the front, you see Sutton had that position for just a moment, and here comes the 57 of DeMerchant right back to the bottom side, that DC Solar Machine working hard at it. And Peterson still pretty much just hanging in line, waiting for a mistake out of one of these two. Of course, if he can capitalize on it, he can shoot through to third position. Looks like Jeremy Watkins has taken his car behind the wall for now. We'll see if he gets back on the track, though. DeMerchant still on the bottom side, still trying to pull off the move. Caution comes out. He's going to have the third position over David Sutton. Looks like it involves the 41 of Sean Cross. We'll get a replay up on your screen momentarily. Looks to me like Sean Cross was spun out at the top of turn number 3, actually. So the 41 got back going, and I believe we're working to get him back up with the field. My replay is a bit off, so hopefully it shows correct on everybody else's screen. But anyways, that was Sean Cross around at the top of turn number 3. Seems like it was just a one-car incident. Everyone else continues on. And Richard Reagan so far has held on to that lead, even with that bit of a long green run. I mentioned you either have to have the track position, capitalize on a restart, or just get a long green run if you want to work into the lead. And that time, Richard Reagan hung on to it as Hunter Poston was trying to just use that long green run, at least probably the longest we'll see for the night, as we're now on lap 15 of 25. As we come on to lap 16 of 25, we should be coming to the green here momentarily. So now it's Richard Reagan on the bottom side, Poston up top. Then it's DeMerchant in third, and Sutton lining up fourth. Peterson and Lyday make up your third row. Isidore in seventh. He's looking for revenge here. And here comes the 46. Green flag back in the air across the start-finish line down into turn 1. It's Reagan on the bottom side. DeMerchant trying to come through and force that 57 up high. He does so for now, and he's going to take over second spot, now looking for the lead. Sutton up top of Peterson, and actually the 58 of Poston gets shoved way wide, as now the battle for the lead is DeMerchant down to the bottom. He clips the inside wall just enough to mess up that elephant ear and actually take away part of the nose. But Richard Reagan continues on. He keeps the lead despite DeMerchant's try there off into turn number 1 that last time around. Sutton and Peterson battle on in the back, and it's going to be Isidore up to 5th place now over Lyday. Peterson still working the bottom side of Sutton, can't get that position just yet. DeMerchant still following Richard Reagan Jr. as we come around to 5 laps to go this time by through turns 3 and 4. And Richard Reagan has led every single lap so far. We'll see if he can continue to lead the last 5. He has definitely had to hold off a couple of really fast drivers. First off, it was Poston in the 58. Now it's Merchant in the 57 car. And these two are pulling away from the pack, pretty much single file now, as Isidore falls into 5th. I think the only battle is really for 3rd, as Christian Peterson is still on the attack there of David Sutton. And right now that would be for the 3rd position. Further back is Lyday in 6th. It looks like Charlie Melvin has solidified himself in the 7th position over Gabriel Wood and Joshua Van Gore. TJ McGuire rounds out your top 10, but it's all been Richard Reagan Jr. up in the front. This guy has dominated this race so far, but he still has 2 laps to go around here with Seth DeMerchant on his rear quarter panel. It's not going to be easy for him to defend these last 2 laps as we come into 3 and 4. Coming to the white flag, DeMerchant still chasing. Reagan has the lead down into turn number 1 for the final time in this first twin. It's DeMerchant on the very bottom. Richard Reagan still trying to dig. And it looks like, unless he has a big move right there, it's going to be Richard Reagan out of turn number 4. Richard Reagan will win your first Blue Shine Marine Pro Late Models race of the night. We still have one more to close the night out. Seth DeMerchant will come home 2nd place in the first twin. Then it's going to be David Sutton getting the position over Christian Peterson. After him, it will be Jesse Isidore rounding out your top 5. Then John Lyday 6th, Charlie Melvin 7th, Joshua Van Gore, Gabriel Wood, and TJ McGuire round out your top 10. Then it's Dustin Hall, Bruno Latour, Hunter Poston, who got shoved out real early. Then Lee Daniel Robinson, Sean Cross, and Jeremy Watkins. Going to try and talk to our race winner here, Richard Reagan, real shortly. And Richard Reagan, what a drive there in the first twin of the night. How did that car feel?
Car felt pretty good until that last restart. I was pretty checked out from the field. I was hoping the caution one had came out, but I ended up getting it down a little bit harder, and I ended up taking home the win.
Yeah, first you had to hold off the 58 car, then it was DeMerchant trying to throw it off into turn 1 underneath you. What was your biggest worry, I guess, in the back of your mind if one of those got to the inside?
Just if they got to the inside, trying to hold them off. I mean, if you get pushed up into that slick, you're really screwed up because it's just so slippery over there, so you can't really do much. So basically try holding them down to that wall so they can't carry that momentum coming off, and hopefully you have more momentum before they do.
For sure. Well, final question real quick. We do have twins here tonight. Do you think you can capitalize on the second race later on and get 2 wins in the Pro Late Models?
I'd like to hope so, but I guess we'll find out.
Well, we'll certainly be watching, man. And I guess before we let you go, is there anyone that you'd like to thank for your performance here tonight?
Yeah, I'd like to thank Lee Robinson and Brian Wayant for really helping me learn how to drive these late models. Everyone at Carter Speed, First Auto Group, and Neonism.
Sounds good, Richard. Thank you for your time. We'll be watching out for you more throughout the night.
Thank you.
And that was your first Blue Shine Marine Pro Late Model twin winner here tonight from Lanier, as always. And, I mean, he just led flag to flag over a couple of really fast cars, such as Seth the Merchant. Did a great job leading flag to flag, and now we're going to go ahead and transition over to the first UMP race of the night. Evan Pasoko has the call.
Yeah, UMPs, we're going to get the first of our twin races. And what you just saw was the first of our twins as well with the Pro Late Models. So big congratulations to Richard Reagan. I know I mentioned at the start of it all, we've certainly had some drivers that have been very good and consistent in these cars thus far this season. But you know, always a chance of getting a first-time winner, and that's exactly what we saw. So now we transition into the Rocket Tire Services UMP Modified Division. The first time we've seen them on the calendar since we were back on week number 4. Seth the Merchant and Josh Dietz have gone to victory lane in these cars so far this season. Also joining to be topside for this one, Mr. Gable, jumping into the LSRTV booth. Gabe, as we get set for what's going to be a real quick 20-lap feature.
Yeah, looking forward to it, Evan, here in just a few moments. So it's going to be one heck of a race here. I'm not too good in the UMPs, so may as well try my hand at commentating them.
Well, I can tell you who is, and that's Jeremy Adams. Surprisingly enough, he's not one of the names who I mentioned who's gone to victory lane yet in these cars. As I noted, race winners this season to Seth the Merchant, Josh Dietz, who are right now outside of the top 5 in the championship standings. That being said, Adams, a top 5 every single time out. Same with Christian Peterson, so they come into this evening first and second in the UMP point standings. That is just a 3-point difference, so we could certainly see a change of the guard up top as we continue to race into this 2018 season. The warm-up session's already drawn to a close to get qualifying times and starting positions based on some of the previous results this season. Let's go trackside and take a look at your LSRTV starting grid for UMP feature race number 1. John Lyday will start this one on a pole position and bring us to the green flag this evening. It'll be Jesse Isidore to the outside in second. Christian Peterson, Lee Daniel Robinson, those are the 2 names who make up row number 2. That'll be 3rd and then 4th position, respectively, for those cars on the grid. The 67 David Sutton will roll from P5. That's Richard Reagan Jr. in the number 6 position. The outside of that row, Dustin Hall, Charlie Melvin, 7th and 8th spot, Gabe, and then the round out the field, it'll be Hunter Poston and Joshua Van Gore. 9th and 10th makes up your 5-row starting grid as we get set to roll and race it on the dirt for 20 laps, which is going to be the shortest of any of the feature races tonight. You saw 25 laps in the Pro Late Models. The longest race of the night actually coming up next, Super Streets, on track immediately after this for 35 laps. So 20-lap sprint here right now, the shortest you're going to get tonight.
A couple of guys to look out for, Evan, in this feature. Of course, the Mencier guys, Christian Peterson and John Lyday, but also Lee Daniel Robinson had some tough luck in that Pro Late Model feature. I was, had a first-hand experience in that one. He's going to be looking to redeem himself starting in the 4th position on the outside lane. Might do him in the first couple laps, but he's going to have 20 laps to get it done. He should be able to with that number 18 machine.
And only 5 drivers have made all of the starts thus far this year in these UMP modifieds. So the interesting thing around that is, of course, you're going to have a lot of new faces. Robinson, one of those, Sutton as well. So we'll certainly see how those drivers can interject themselves into the contest. But the pace track is down and in, and we look for the green flag. We go modified racing. It's heat race, or feature race, should say, 1 of 2, but already 3 wide for the race lead. And John Lyday just could not turn and it is going to be a big mess in corner number 2. Early caution gave as your pole sitter went down and that car just refused to get sideways.
Really tight setup, wheels locked all the way to the left for John Lyday. Unfortunate for him, but again, tough luck for Lee Daniel Robertson in the 18 machine. Again, another tough hit. Also with the 54 machine of Charlie Melvin, who had a pretty decent race. I believe he finished 7th in the Pro Late Model feature, so he was looking to capitalize on a little bit of momentum. But unfortunately, not going to happen here tonight. And the 454, he barely skirted through that. That's Joshua Vangor. He almost got caught up in that when the 54 machine came off the wall.
And he'll be the big winner because he picks up the positions from all 3 of the cars that were involved in that accident. He'll go 10th to 7th. And the beneficiary up in the front row is Christian Peterson. There's no change for Jesse Isidore. The 015 still going to be scored in second position and restart on the outside of the front row. But Peterson was very quick on the inside. He's the one that really initiated that 3 wide down low. 3 wide really had nothing to do with the incident. Again, Lade went to rotate, but Peterson certainly wasn't waiting around to find out if Lade was going to be good or not by the time he got to the corner, dove to the inside, and just like that, he takes over the race lead in this first twin main event. So the pace car going to dive back down and in. Only going to be 16 laps left to go, and the UMP modifies. But a great start for Peterson. He'll leave everybody behind to turn 1.
Peterson takes off like a rocket in the turn number 1. They're 2-3 wide now as Lee Daniel Robinson tries to work his way up through the field. He's up 1 position so far with John Lyday in tow. They're going to get a little bit squirrely there up front. David Sutton, he gets tight coming off of turn number 4. That's going to lead to 0-15 of Jesse Isidore. He lost a little bit of time there on the start, but he can get it back underway. These guys are racing hard there for the 4th position. Lyday gets a little bit loose going in turn number 3. He's going to be able to collect it and stay green here at Lanier.
He was doing just about everything he could do on the outside to get clear as Jesse Isidore. He's not through yet. Here comes the 67 David Sutton as he'll try to slot up at the inside and fight for the 2nd position. Behind them also fighting for 4th and 5th, Dustin Hall and Richard Regan Jr. in that. But all of this is now over a second behind your race leader as a lot of cars smack the outside wall. There's more contact. It's going to be Dustin Hall into the outside wall, and it'll be our 2nd yellow on the night.
Exit stage left, the 331 got up into the outside wall. It's Dustin Hall, that orange and white machine there. He just hit the outside wall coming off of turn number 4. Easy to do, especially in these modifieds. These cars want to rotate a lot. You hit that wall coming off the corner. You actually got a little help off the 46 of Richard Regan, your winner from the late model feature. And he exits stage left, or stage right, I should say, going off into turn number 1. Hits the crossover gate.
If he was headed to the left, he would have got up into the outside wall as they went down to turn 3, and that crossover gate's what really hooked that car and somehow doesn't get tail whipped by John Lyday and Charlie Melvin coming through, who somehow are able to avoid him. It's very difficult once you start to pitch these cars into the corner to simply just get around an obstacle in the road. So it is going to be a tough break for Dustin Hall. That's pretty much going to be his nut as he brings it down to the pit lane. That was almost just as bad for the 015 to Jesse Isidore. He also got up into the outside wall, but was able to recover. We'll see if he has any significant damage as he gets set to restart from the number 3 position. Christian Peterson was well off in front of all of the chaos that time. This time by, only going to have 9 laps left on the board from Lanier. Pace truck back down and in, the 23 on the gas again, and once again, we get to watch the fight for a second behind as Peterson tries to get away 3 wide now for P2. It's Robinson way down low.
Peterson in the rocket ship, Little Red Wagon, taking off to a 2-car length lead, getting a little bit tight there back in the pack, but these guys keep it going straight. The 67 machine of David Sutton continuing his march, started 5th, now up to 2nd. These guys are racing hard. Here comes Lee Daniel Robinson up through the field, up to the 3rd position. He's on the podium now, just got past the outside pole sitter, the 015 of Jesse Isidore, and here comes John Lyday, another good performance from him. He got tight, and he got tight again going into turn number 1. Same thing that happened to him on the start, so you can see what kind of setup the 22 machine's running. If he can get that thing hooked up, it's on a rail, but he misses his braking point, and I'm going to go back to that in a second. The 23 machine, he's getting overtaken for the lead as they come off of turn number 3, into turn number 3, off of turn number 4, battle for the lead. 67 machine of David Sutton to the line. He's going to get it with 5 laps to go. Can he hang on?
Peterson going to look for the undercut off of quarter number 2, but he's not going to be able to make it stick. And how about David Sutton didn't show a lot of speed on those first 2 runs. The 23 tries to get back after him, but certainly putting the pressure on now. I can promise you that Christian Peterson is not going to lay over and let Sutton run away with this one. Plenty to still be decided as we come to take 3 laps to go.
Running on the very bottom of the racetrack, 67, David Sutton giving him no room on the bottom. So he's going to slide up coming off of turn number 4. Can these guys get it done? The 23 really loose coming out of 4. I'm getting my corners mixed up here. It's so exciting. Here, 2 laps to go. Pitching it way over, letting the J-bar do the work. Getting up on the bars, the 23 machine of Christian Peterson. He's going to have one more shot at it here coming to the white flag.
Last time, this time around, going to be 1 more lap to go from Lanier. The 23 able to pitch to the inside of the racetrack. Do they get physical as we head off to 3 and 4? This for the final time, side by side. He'll throw it way into the inside. The 67 holds strong, and it will be outside. David Sutton wins in the Rocket Tire Services UMP Modifieds. First one for him on the season, and while Christian Peterson will have another good night and take over the championship, he is kept without a win through 3 weeks.
Great finish here on the UMP Modified feature. Glad I was up here in the booth with you, Evan, because the setup I had, I would have been running in the back the whole time. I would have had a great view of it.
Well, definitely the drivers back there got a good view of it. John Lade, who was in the back early after having that very rough start, he's somebody who's able to get up much closer to that one and have a better finish to this than it might have looked after the first couple of laps. Let's look top to bottom at your LSRTV full race results for the first of our 2 twin UMP modified features on the evening for week 6 of this Fort Chiswell RV Park Weekly Dirt Series presented by LSRTV. David Sutton goes to victory lane. We'll go trackside with him momentarily. Christian Peterson, Lee Daniel Robinson, John Lade, and Jesse Isidore, your top 5, with Joshua Vangor in 6th, Richard Reagan Jr. in 7th, Hunter Poston comes home P8, Charlie Melvin is 9th, and the only driver not to make it all the way home, the 331 of Dustin Hall, comes home in P10. Now standing by, though, with the driver of the number 67 machine, it is old David Sutton tonight from Lanier. David, congratulations on your first win in these UMP Modifieds. Christian Peterson, somebody who's very well acquainted with these cars. In fact, I believe he'll head into the second main event later on tonight as the overall leader in the points, but it didn't cause you to back down from it at all. Tell us about that great race battle at the end.
Oh man, I just was trying to hold him off. I knew he was fast, and I knew if I was gonna mess up, it was gonna be on corner exit. I had the car a little too tight for this one. I should be pretty good for the next one, hopefully. But I want to thank my guys here at Gen X Bad Racing, Folds of Honor, Amsoil, and Jesse Isidore for the setup that I've kind of tweaked just a hair. And I've raced with him in a couple hosted this week, and it's been phenomenal racing all week long with that guy.
You guys go into the second race. 20 laps really isn't a whole lot of time. Was there something that you figured out, or maybe battling there late with Peterson picked up on that maybe you'll take a little bit differently into that final one, or do you think that you guys pretty much had it down pat here going from 5th to 1st?
Top, there's really not a whole lot there. I had to run it a little bit through traffic, but going into the next main, it's going to be on the bottom. It's going to be who makes a mistake, that's how you're going to get past. So, just run your race, be consistent, hit your marks, and you'll find yourself up front, and that's my plan.
A lot of racing still to go tonight, but what we got you down at Victory Lane, anybody you want to say hi to?
Yeah, just all my guys here at Gen X Bad, I just want to thank them for this opportunity, thank them for this car. One of those guys is what got me this setup, and I've just improved on it to my liking, and they're all phenomenal guys.
The race winner in the Rocket Tire Services UMP Modifieds. David, we appreciate the time. Congratulations, and we'll let you get back to it. Maybe we'll chat soon.
Thank you. You guys have a good night.
The Sutton comes out on top in the first of our UMP main events, and well, as it always is at a Wednesday night, tons of racing still to come. The Super Streets are hitting the track at X. It is the longest race of the evening at 35 laps, and for that one, we'll toss it back over to Andrew. We'll see if we can get those street stocks ready to rock and roll here in just a minute. As we noted, the street stock's going to be the longest race of the evening at 35 laps in length, Gabe. And as well, those cars a tad bit on the slower side compared to the UMP, so you got a longer race, slower cars. What are the differences we're going to expect to see?
Well, with this small field, Evan, and I'm going to be racing in it myself. It's going to be something I'm looking forward to because I'm going to be starting toward the rear, I believe. I wasn't here for qualifying, so that'll be something to look out for. But, you got to be right on the bottom. And these street stocks, especially the strictly stock series, the actual asphalt street stock that we run here, that's a lot of fun to run because you could just run it like an asphalt car. But these dirt street stocks, you get sideways more than you ever do in a dirt late model. These guys, we are absolutely on the edge the entire time. You're almost full throttle. As soon as you get off the brake to kind of get the car set in the corner, you're on the gas and you're trying to get off the corner.
We'll let you get back down trackside, Gabe. Thanks for jumping up and joining us for the UMPs. Again, modifieds and Pro Late models in the books, but they both have the second half of their features coming up in just a moment on Summer Twins Night. But it is the standalone street stock races next, round 3 on the evening. And we'll toss things back to Andrew as they get set to go green.
Thank you, Evan. Aforementioned by these guys all night long. This is the longest feature of the night, of course. This is going to be, I guess, if there can be a race of attrition tonight, this would be it. The rest are sprints all night long, and should be a lot of fun to watch, of course, as we get ready to walk down the grid. It's actually a very small race here tonight. We've got Ricky Barbary on pole position in the number 54 car. Then it's Hunter Poston in the 58, followed up by Dylan Kovar in the 88, TJ McGuire in the 83, Bruno Latour in the 33 car rounds out your top 5. And the final 2 entries here tonight in the street stock feature will be Jeremy Watkins and Gabriel Wood, who we were just talking with a moment ago. And of course, again, street stocks around any dirt track is always a lot of fun to watch, but around Lanier especially, you have the ability to really just pitch it in down on the bottom side, put your nose right down on that white inside wall, and let it float on up. And if you get that slide job done just right, it's a lot of fun as a driver, and it should be even more fun for us to watch here as we get ready to get going green. Only 6 cars have gridded up so far, coming around one more lap until the green flag. And again, that 54 down on the bottom side of row number 1 is Ricky Barbary. Hunter Poston on the outside in second place. Only a 6-car field here to take the green. Should be exciting nonetheless. And of course, after this feature, you can catch the 360 sprint cars in just a few moments with Evan on the call. Coming around to the green flag, it is the 54 bringing us to the line. And actually, the 58, Hunter Poston beat him to the line, beat him off into turn number 1, already has that lead. So it is now Hunter Poston with the big lead out of turn number 2. I think just a bit of a hiccup there for the 54 car on the start. That allows Dylan Kovar to hang on to third. But the big loss there through just one lap was the 54 of Ricky Barbary. Lost a ton of time to Hunter Poston. And now through a lap and a half, Hunter Poston starting to pull away, starting to gap the 54 just a bit, getting a good drive off the corners. The 83 is now here. That is TJ McGuire. Looks like he might have been a little bit late getting back in here from the previous race. And it's going to be Bruno Latour now behind this lead battle, just kind of waiting on something to happen. And, when you have a small field like this, just 6 or 7 cars, it's going to be harder to make something happen as we have a pass for second place, actually. That was Dylan Kovar through to second. He's now going to try and take over that middle lane, block the 54 just a little bit, at least block him from making the pass. And, small field, not too much is going to happen, so you really have to be up on it, elbows up, and just make passes when you can. And those are really only going to be most available, I guess, on these restarts. So that's going to be something to watch. If we do get any cautions, we'll watch those big restart moves from these guys. So far, though, single file green flag racing is very good through the entire field. I think the most exciting racing is going to be for second place right now. Dylan Kovar trying to hang on. And we will have a competition caution at the completion of lap number 20 if we don't have a caution before then, so just a heads up for everybody watching. And that is the 54 of Barbary right back down to the bottom. He was a little bit sideways that time, right in front of Latour. Latour actually had a straighter corner, but ended up coming out of the corner a little bit sideways. So these guys are just on edge right now, trying to get settled in. And of course, there's not too much rubber down on the track, so they're really fighting through some of the wetter dirt. But they actually, right through the bottom to middle of the track, have some really good race dirt right there. And right now, These guys are, of course, right down on the bottom side. That's where you want to be. Jeremy Watkins currently would be your 5th place driver. He is actually shown 6th as far as just counting cars, but he is in the 5th position. As TJ McGuire kind of mixing things up in the 83 car. A couple of laps late, should have a chance to get a lap or two back on this caution if we do. If we don't get one, it of course come on lap 21. Hunter Poston still leading this race in the 58 car. He's got a pretty decent lead at this point too, a little over a 1.5 seconds now it looks like, as he is just pulling away from Dylan Kovar in the 88. And of course, if you're looking for more action once this race finishes up, we will have the 360 sprints going for about 30 laps, I do believe, and then the final 2 twins of the night. And it looks like some action is heating up here for Ricky Barbary, having some issues, loses the position to Bruno Latour, so Bruno Latour through to your podium for now. And the 54 moving in the wrong direction, even TJ McGuire gets by that car, and right now Ricky Barbary trying to hang on, but is not having the greatest night so far in this street stock feature. And he has now fallen back to the 4th position after starting first, pings the wall again. That was off in a turn number 3 that time, up to the outside, almost gets it out of 4, hanging on for now, but that car is definitely on edge here, and he's looking pretty tight actually off into the corners. Many ends up being kind of loose in center, hangs on to it there, but definitely watch this 54 car some more. Jeremy Watkins now trying to make a pass on him. For now, Barbary gets the run back out of turn number 4. Watkins goes up high, trying to get the run as Barbary struggles on the bottom side. Gabe Wood behind this battle. Watkins slows way down that corner, so he's not going to have a chance to get back yet. I think the bottom side is the way to go, and Barbary into the wall, spins around, no caution yet. Of course, we have the competition caution coming up, and the caution flag flies. That one for Ricky Barbary. So we saw the 54 car starting to struggle. It looked like the handling was going away on that machine, and we saw that one happen right there. It was just 54 being off on handling, got off into the corner, got a little bit too sideways, couldn't bring it back around, couldn't correct that race car, ends up nosing it into the inside wall. Not too hard, he's going to continue on without any issue, just has to work on the handling of that machine if he can in any way, just adjust his line, try and get a better feel for the car on the track. But no worries there for the 54 car as far as damage, just noses it into the fence real nicely, and TJ McGuire will get those laps back. He now is 1 lap down and should come around to take the lead lap. So that leaves Hunter Poston still in your lead position, and actually Bruno Latour had something happen here. He must have lost... No, he's going to the pit lane. So I think Bruno Latour might have wanted to go to the back of the field once more. The caution is being extended. Hunter Poston is still your leader, despite a bit of action on the track. I'm not even sure what just happened. I think in one of the biggest blunders I've seen at Lanier, not really biggest, but at least as far as under yellow, Hunter Poston tags the wall. Nothing too big, gets back rolling. We extended the caution for just a moment here. We should have about 16 laps to go when we restart this time by. I'm getting tongue twisted up here in the booth, but either way, Dylan Kovar up on the outside of Poston. He'll be looking to try and use that outside line, which we haven't seen come in too great here so far tonight, to try and get that lead. Jeremy Watkins lines up third, coming to the restart zone. Poston launches, and he's already got that 88 car cleared. We'll see what Kovar can do. Barbary wide to the outside, falls back to 7th. Kovar trying to get a handle on that race car. He's trying to chase down Poston now. As Gabriel Wood through to 3rd place, he restarted, I think, 4th or 5th. And he's already through to 3rd, gets by Watkins and Latour. And now it's going to be McGuire digging on the bottom side. He is currently 4th, looking for 3rd. And that 83 car down to the bottom side of Gabriel Wood. Tries to throw a slider, couldn't get it done. Couldn't get that rear end in front of Gabriel Wood's nose there. But that time he'll complete the pass. And now put TJ McGuire up into 3rd place after not even making the start of this feature event. The 83 looking to be on rails right now is handling great through that bit of rubber down on the bottom side. Barbary is still getting a little bit loose as Gabriel Wood falls into the clutches of Bruno Latour. We'll watch that battle. Latour down on the bottom side trying to work it in, and Gabe Wood actually contact out of turn 2. Latour drove Wood right up to the fence. No harm, no foul, though. Of course, these cars have fenders and bumpers for a reason. They keep going. Gabriel Wood loses the spot, though. Latour through to 4th position. Back into the top 3. McGuire now on the offensive here with Dylan Kovar down to the bottom side. Couldn't make a move that time by. Kovar runs the top. It's going to be McGuire on the bottom side still. And almost even out of turn 4 that time by. That time, McGuire throws it off into the corner once more, puts that right rear right on the door, says hello, and tries to get going. He has him cleared off into turn number 3. Can Kovar get the run? He does. Almost makes contact. Loses some grip. Can't quite drive to the outside of McGuire. McGuire now through to 2nd place solidly. So TJ McGuire doesn't make the start, gets in here a couple of laps late, and so far is just waxing the rest of the field since getting in here. Just under 10 laps to go now, and this 83 car is looking like he might have something for the race leader of Hunter Poston. He's led every single lap so far, but that 58 still looking pretty good, even as the 83 advances. I really want to see how this one develops. Kovar currently still 3rd place. And actually, I think he tags the wall out of 4. Keeps going, though. Latour in 4th. Gabriel Wood in the 5th spot. It's going to be Jeremy Watkins now into 6th as Ricky Barbary is relegated to 7th place, 1 lap down. Poston's still your leader, about 7 laps to go now as we come by the start-finish line, and McGuire still digging that bottom side, and he is making up some time, ladies and gentlemen. He has cut that lead down a ton and then some, and that 83 car is still coming out of turn number 4. The gap closes by about a 0.5 of a second. The 83 is definitely moving in, and Poston wide out of turn number 2. That's going to open the door here for McGuire. The 83 car still working the bottom side. Gains a ton of time that time through turn number 2, gets the straight run out of 4, and he is right on the left rear quarter panel of the 58 down off into turns 1 and 2. That time by can't make a move, but he is definitely there. He is definitely giving Hunter Poston a wake-up call here to get going or let him by, and right now McGuire driving right back up to the 58 down the straightaway, narrows the gap some more, and now he goes to the high side trying to get some grip up there and get a run out of the corner. Can't do it. Just a few laps to go here. We'll be coming around to get 3 to go this time by. It's Hunter Poston leading the way still, but TJ McGuire right on his bumper. McGuire trying to get a run out of the corner, trying to make the pass down the straightaway and off into the next one. Can't do it there, can't even get alongside of him, and really that 83 drove right up to Poston and can't go any further. Seems like his run is stalled out. Of course, he can't just drive right through the 58 car. 2 laps to go now as Poston continues to lead. Of course, has the track position advantage over McGuire, but McGuire has the ability to just go wherever on this track. It looks like that car is pretty much on rails. White flag out this time by. Poston still your leader. McGuire looking for a chance to throw it off into the turn number 3 and try and get something here. Will he do it? He's almost there. Can't throw a move, but he's going to try. He's going to try to get right down to the bottom side. Can't make it happen. It's going to be Hunter Poston out of turn number 4. Wins your super stock feature. And of course, we'll go trackside and talk to him in just a moment. But what a battle there. Unfortunately, TJ McGuire couldn't quite make a move, but he got there and he definitely let everybody know that he wanted to win that race. Did a great job of getting there. And as we bring up the 58 driver of Hunter Poston, should be an interesting conversation there. Hunter Poston, what a drive. He kept it out front all race long despite starting 2nd place. How'd the car feel?
Honestly, really tight. Like, it finally got better towards the end, but toward the last couple laps, it was pushing.
Yeah, we saw a couple of guys actually battle with the car being tight. Definitely saw the 54 car really having to crank that wheel to the left to get any kind of turn into the corner. But either way, you at least, you sat out there, led all of those laps, and even when TJ McGuire drove up to you, even through a mistake of your own, you held on. It was a great job battling for that lead. Did you think he was maybe going to throw it off in a turn 3 on the last lap?
I didn't think he was going to dive bomb me, but if he didn't start 2 laps down, I think I would have been screwed. He just was a lot faster. I was able to, it was a 1-lane track, so I was able to hold him off that way.
Now, do you think if you guys had gone to the high side at any point in the race, it maybe would have changed the outcome there of that last battle?
Maybe. I just don't think there was enough grip there. I mean, you could try it, but I think the bottom was that much faster.
Well, certainly a great drive out of you there to win the Super Stock feature here tonight. Who do you have to thank?
I just like to thank my mom and dad tonight.
Well, sounds good. Short, sweet, and to the point. Thanks for your time here, Hunter. We'll talk to you later.
All right, thank you.
And Hunter Poston again comes home with the win. TJ McGuire coming up just behind, just 2.5 tenths back, taking second place. And it's Dylan Kovar in the 88 in third. Bruno Latour in fourth. Gabriel Wood fifth. Jeremy Watkins sixth. And Ricky Barbary comes home after starting on the pole 6 laps down in seventh place. And that'll do it for your Super Stock feature here tonight. Next up is the 360 Sprints. Evan Pasoko with the call.
Yeah, the 360 Sprints getting ready to rock and roll, and in a very humble and biased opinion, these things are fun and might want to be one of the most excited races that we see this evening. Hunter Poston getting the win you just saw moments ago in the Super Streets. Interesting to note, Poston's win in the Super Streets, first for him on the season. David Sutton's win from before in the UMP Modifieds, first for him on the season as well. And Richard Regan Jr. has a win already this year in the 360 Sprints, but his Pro Late Model win from earlier tonight was his first in that division. So we're certainly seeing a lot of drivers breaking through and getting their first wins in their respective series. But as we get set to go 360 Sprint racing, we come into tonight with a familiar name at the top of the championship standings. Christian Peterson leads Richard Regan by 24 points. Headed into this evening with Reed Rundell, Gabe Wood, and Scott Austin, your top 5 overall in the standings. So certainly those are going to be the drivers who you want to keep a half eye on tonight. The cars are headed trackside though. Let's go down and take a look at your LSRTV starting grid, and it is going to be a pole position with the number 43 of Reed Rundell. He'll bring us to the green flag tonight, and it'll be Bruno Latour on the outside in the number 2 spot. Back on row number 2, John Lade will roll from 3rd position with the number 22 machine, and Christian Peterson, championship leader, looking for what would be his 3rd win in these cars on the season. The series produces the most different race winners out of any that we see on Wednesday nights. They'll start from P4. Richard Regan Jr. tucked in behind, starting 5th tonight. We got as well Justin Verhey in the number 6 spot. Jeremy Watkins rolls off in 7th. Sean Cross is 8th. Scott Austin 9th. And Gabe Wood in P10 as a look top to bottom at your LSRTV starting grid. Want to also remind you that coverage of the CEA Weekly Dirt Series is brought to you by Joel Real Timing, the official timing software of LSRTV. Whether you spend your time on the sim from behind the wheel, on the pit box, or atop the spotter stand, JRT is the go-to software for iRacing timing and scoring analytics. You can get yourself a basic download or buy the full pro version today. All that information and more, just log on to joel-real-timing.com for more information. Lights out this time around on the iRacing official pace truck. 30 laps on deck for the 360 Sprints. Again, when we're done here, still plenty to go, so make sure you keep it with us on LSRTV and iRacing Live. UNP Modifieds back for feature race number 2. And then, once again, the Blue Shot Marine Pro Late Models will close it out to end the evening. So halfway home, and the excitement's only going to get better. The pace truck goes down and in, and Reed Rundell is going to want to get out in front of the chaos. Green flag in the air. Let's go 360 sprint racing from Lanier. As we spread them wide, there's already contact and problems for your race leader, Reed Rundell, up and over. On the back straightaway, early caution in this one is that race car all on its own just over-rotated, and he basically slapped it off of the inside wall. There was 0 places for Richard Regan to do to get out of the way. Those 2 cars get together, and both of them end up bottom side up in a big incident early in this sprint feature race, which was already, when they went down into the corner, at least looking to be a good contest, side by side throughout those first couple of rows. But I mean, you could really see it there on the replay. It might have looked like a live shot that there was contact, but certainly that showed you that it was really just a case of that car maybe over-rotating or just kind of gripping out, but you expect to stay on the throttle and for that thing to continue to slide. You got to pinch the nose or pitch the nose in to the inside wall, and unfortunately for him, he gets up against it. I do think it may be tough for Rundell to be able to get back into a competitive position in this race. Again, it is 30 laps, so a little bit longer than some of these races that we have seen this evening, so you could never say never, but certainly these winged sprint cars, which are so fun to watch, a lot more susceptible to damage in an incident like that compared to a modified or a late model with all that extra sheet metal. The pace truck back down and in, though. Green flag in the air. We got 26 laps to go. And a new race leader's Bruno Latour, but how long is that one going to last? Christian Peterson slinging it up top. He's not going to be able to hold the ground. Nice move by the 333 Latour to slide up and defend. Now the 23 going to go to the inside, and there's contact between those two. More contact. Looked like it was Lide that time who got hit by the 00 with Gabe Wood, but Bruno Latour put the slide job on Peterson. Peterson give it right back to him, and it is the 23 of Christian Peterson now trying to lead this race, and he's in front of all of the chaos for second odd back as Bruno Latour takes that position back from the 00 machine to Gabe Wood. Justin Verhey on the inside, the number 53 machine. He will now also slide up into the third position on the racetrack, and the 1 and 2 spread out just a little bit. The fight really on for third, fourth, and fifth position. Look how high Gabe Wood is all the way up on the outside of the racetrack, very opposite line for that 22 of John Lide, who had been right up against the inside wall. He's moving up just a little bit. I'm sure you'll continue to see these cars move a little bit higher and higher as the night goes on. Justin Verhey, though, a little bit of controlled chaos that last time by. He almost fenced it in an identical fashion to what happened with Rundell earlier in the evening. 10 down, 20 to go. Peterson, Latour, and Verhey. 1, 2, and 3. And in 4, 5, 6 is where the fun is. Here comes on the outside, John Lade trying to get around Gabe Wood on the outside. There's more contact. These drivers are getting awfully close with one another with those exposed tires. They can't be leaning on each other like some of the stock car action that we do see on the short tracks. And again, even if you count those dirt late models in the equation as well, you just can't lean on each other like these guys have been doing. So far, they've been able to get away with it, and get it away in P4 is John Lide. Gabe Wood now drops to P5. Not all that bad of a night. We were talking with Gabe Wood not all that long ago, but he joined me for that modified race earlier, and it mentioned that he didn't qualify for any of these races, so he'd be starting at the back. So even though he's lost a few spots off of the restart, Gabe started this one P10, and he's right now running mid-pack in 5th. So it is not all that bad for the driver of the 00 machine, but I would argue certainly didn't want to give up any more positions that maybe he needed to. But if I can see another pass for position happening on the racetrack, I would think it's going to happen right at about where he is. That Mitulade lost a little bit of speed that time in the corner. Gabe Wood was able to close in, but other than these cars within a couple of tenths of each other, a lot of separation out front. Peterson's lead is over 1.1 seconds to Verhey, and then Verhey's got nearly an identical gap at about 9/10 of a second back to Bruno Latour in third, and then it's another second back to Lide. So certainly 1, 2, 3, 4 spread out, and I'm sure for the sake of Christian Peterson, as I mentioned, championship points leader, 2 wins already on the season in these 360 sprints. Sure, he'll be okay if this race can continue to just run green flag to the end. See if that is going to be the case, but certainly with cars spreading out and you have enough space in between each other, it would certainly at this point look like somebody has to make a big mistake, and then they might get caught up in an issue with traffic, or it is just simply a single car mistake that would bring out any sort of an issue. But the last time by, we took 10 laps to go in this race. Richard Reagan, who was involved in an accident earlier, by the way, is back on track in P10, 9 laps down, albeit, but still, all 10 cars who started this race still on the racetrack as Christian Peterson just continues to be oh so smooth. The front of battle for 4th has got to be coming soon. Gabe Wood took a big dive at Scott Austin that time in the corner. Oh so close to get it into the left rear tire of the number 22 entry, and you could see that he saw that coming. You can recognize that it was a little bit too much of an overzealous maneuver. He definitely lifted out of the throttle, but if Gabe Wood's going to be able to get back out to him, certainly proving that he's got enough speed to at least take P4 back. Lade just got that spot from him no more than 10 laps ago, and he's going to have to be on the defensive, I think, sooner than later. Gabe Wood going a lot deeper into the corner. None of that's going to matter. Caution flag is out, and on the front straightaway, it is the 53 of Verhey from the number 2 position is involved in this accident. We'll take a second look. And it is, in fact, an issue with a single car, as I said it might be. The 41 of Sean Cross from P9 just got too hot into the corner and spun out. And unfortunately for your second-place runner, Verhey gassed low. That's where the car slid down. And the replay angles will speak for themselves. Justin Verhey was 5 laps away from a very good P2 result in these ProTech Custom Gear 360 sprints. And instead, finds himself limping down to the pit lane, and we find ourselves no longer with 4 seconds separating the top 3 cars at a racetrack. We are going to have a late race restart from Lanier for the 360 sprint car win. The question is just how many more laps are we going to get? Well, the lights are out on top of the iRacing official pace truck, so this time by, we'll come to collect the green flag. There will be 2 laps to go. If we make it to the white flag, it'll mean the race is official. A yellow before that will set us up for some overtime in a green-white checker if we so need it. But the 23 machine's going to be in control, and he'll pull the gap down the front. 2 laps to go from the Lanier National Speedway. So Peterson clears out in front, and the fight's going to be for second on back. John Lade, the 22's got it now, wants to close in for the race lead, but he's just simply not going to have time. White flag in the air. 3 wide for a moment as Latour and a 5 of Austin fight for third. Looks like Austin's going to win out in that one, but Christian Peterson, smooth as butter, win number 3 in the 360 sprints. He does it again on week number 6, and wrecking across the start-finish line was the 00 of Gabe Wood and a couple of other cars who got into it in a sprint to the start-finish line. What a finish in this 360 sprint main event. Top finishers pull it over on the front straightaway. And with that win by Peterson being his 3rd in this division, it breaks the streak of the night of having a couple of first-time winners back to back to back. Let's take a look at your full race results for this 360 sprint main event. Christian Peterson goes 4th to 1st, and really when he got out and in front, nobody could catch him. A dominant performance for the 23. Easy on that 2-lap to go restart, and he takes the checkered flag in the main event. John Lade comes home 2nd position. A good result as well. Scott Austin, who comes home in 3rd. Bruno Latour, meanwhile, able to recover for a P4 result. Still not really what he was hoping for, I think, at the end of the day. And Reed Rundell will round out your top 5 after starting on pole. Gabe Wood dropped back a little bit towards the end, ends up at a P6. Jeremy Watkins and Sean Cross, no difference for those two. They finish exactly where they started in 7th and 8th position, respectively. And then, of course, the issues with Justin Verhey taken out from P2 at 5 to go. He settles for a P9, and Richard Reagan Jr., involved in somebody else's accident very early on, comes home in 10th. That is a look top to bottom at your LSRTV full race results. We go down trackside. Normally we don't have to wait 4 races into the evening to chat with this driver, but Christian Peterson gets another win in the 360 sprints. It comes tonight from week number 6 at the Lanier National Speedway. Christian, congratulations on another win in this ProTech Custom Gear division. We know that you're a big fan of these. Came into tonight with a gap in a championship. That will only grow, and it seemed like in basically, I'd say 15 laps to go to the end, even with that last restart, everybody else was kind of fighting for all they had. 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and you just look nice and calm, cool, and collected up front.
Yeah, the Vincia Racing 6-man race cars 360 sprint was really good tonight. I mean, it was just, I figured it was going to actually be in the middle, and then I was running like consistent 4s, and I went down to the bottom for a lap and I ran like a 2 or something. So I was like, all right, let's try to see if we can run those consistently. And I think we fell off to the 3s just with a little bit less momentum from just being on the bottom every lap. But the car was really good, and and I was really just praying to not have a yellow at the end there, but we got one, and unfortunately it took out the guy in second place with a lapper there, but I think he was definitely coming. He was catching me on the bottom, and then he moved up, and then he lost a little bit, and then he went back to the bottom, and he was gaining back. So I think if there wasn't that yellow, or if the yellow was for something else, he would have had a shot, or it would have been a good slide job, race at the end there. But it feels good to get back in victory lane on dirt.
We see these cars a lot compared to some of the other divisions, so this win for you, as I noted, you're third, but you've also never finished outside of the top 5. So that would, make it sound like this is a division that it's very easy for you to take over, but on the flip side of that, this is also, I think, the division that we've seen the highest number of different race winners. So what is it about these 360 sprints that, A, you obviously like, and B, that also makes it so competitive?
I think the competitive part comes from the fixed setups. I know I got some teammates, and there's a couple guys in the late model and the ump that are really quick with the open setup. So that makes it a little bit harder for multiple winners every week, or every other week. But I think that brings the competitiveness. But for me, it's probably just the way the things drive. They're real twitchy, and you got to just be smooth and kind of flick it. So the other cars are kind of more of controlling the back end and the tank slap. So I think being able to just use the downforce and the way I drive just fits the sprint car.
We always appreciate getting some of your insight, Christian, but let you get out of here. We've still got 2 big races to come as the second half of our twin heats, or twin features, I should say, for the UMP Modifieds and the Pro Late Models coming up. Before we do, though, as always, sponsor shout-outs. Who makes it happen?
Like I said, Vincia Racing, 6-man race cars. Everybody at Scott Austin Designs, Peterson Irrigation, Globalcom, ProTech, Custom Gear. Just everybody who helps out building setups or just having fun gaming with us over there at Vincia. So, and then Barnes for putting on the series, and you guys for broadcasting.
He's your race winner once more in the ProTech Custom Gear 360 Sprints. Christian, we always appreciate the time. Congratulations, and best of luck going forward. Plenty more still to come.
All right, thanks, Evan.
So he gets the job done in our 4th race of the evening. As I said, it's the second half of our twin features. Coming up next, before we go back down trackside, though, we'll take a quick opportunity to step aside. And when we come back to Lanier, 4 down and 2 to go. You're watching the Fort Chiswell RV Park CEA Weekly Dirt Series, presented by LSRTV, on your home for sim racing and iRacing Live. Plenty more to come when we return.
Hi, I'm Michael Conti, driver of the number 5 4Front Chevy, and you're watching iRacing Live.
Welcome back here tonight to the Lanier National Speedway, and we're getting ready to go for the 5th of 6 features here tonight. This is Andrew Cardinale with Gabe Wood alongside of me. And Gabe, this is, as you said earlier, your, I guess, least favorite series to drive in or so. Trying to stress some words there, but the UMP's up for 20 more laps. Again, matching the length earlier for the shortest of the features tonight. Just 20 laps, a bit of a sprint here. What are you expecting, Gabe?
Okay, well, first, not my least favorite series. It's just, it's open, and I'm not very good at open setups. But I do love these cars. I'm expecting the guys who are fast in feature number 1, David Sutton, who walked away with the victory, Christian Peterson, and Lee Daniel Robinson's another one, because he was driving up through the field in that first feature after getting wrecked on lap 1 when Lide got loose, or got tight from the pole. I think Lee Daniel Robinson may be able to walk away with this victory if he can keep it out of trouble. He's got 20 laps to pick up 7 spots. I think he can do it.
We'll have to wait and see. Getting ready for twin number 2 of the Rocket Tire Services UMP Modified Series, and it's going to be Dustin Hall on your front row, starting from first. Second will be Hunter Poston. Then it's Richard Reagan Jr., who won the late model twin earlier on. Still have one more of those to go. Joshua Wenger will be starting to his outside in fourth, and it's Jesse Isidore rounding out your top 5.
Sixth is going to be John Lide, who started on the pole in feature number 1. Lee Daniel Robinson, talked about him just a second ago, rolling off in 7th. Christian Peterson finished 2nd in feature number 1. David Sutton rolls off 9th. He was your winner in the first feature. Scott Austin is going to roll off in P10.
And of course, as always, we have 2 pace laps to get going here, get them racked up, and we're coming to the 1 to go signal here to the green. And just 10 cars here for the Rocket Tire Services second twin of the night. And the 331 again, Dustin Hall on pole. Poston to his outside. Poston won the Super Stock race earlier on, so we'll have to see how he does here in the UMPs. And Gabe, as you mentioned, open setups really changes things, so we'll see how these guys do on their setups. Coming to the green flag here in just a moment. Again, Dustin Hall starting from first, and the 331 down at the bottom side into the restart zone. Green flag is out. 331 has the lead at the line, has the 58 cleared off into 1, but Poston around the outside throws it in, contact behind.
It's going to stack up everybody. 1 car on the outside wall, but Dustin Hall is going to keep the lead here, battling with Hunter Poston. One of the faster guys in the street stock feature. I believe he may have walked away with the victory. I can't remember. I was running in the back the whole time. But these guys are fighting hard. 23, Christian Peterson almost gets turned by the 46 of Richard Regan. They keep it going. Still 3 wide. The 46 turns the 0-15 up into the wall. John Lide gets caught up in it. We remain green. Dustin Hall still your leader. The 58 machine over rotates going into turn number 1. That's going to allow the 18 of Lee Daniel Robinson to the inside. He's up from 7th now to 2nd, 3rd actually, as they come off of turn number 4. Caution is out. We'll look for it here. Possibly, yeah, the Joshua Vangor and Richard Regan got together. Oh, it looks like actually Scott Austin over-rotated, got sideways by himself, and came down the racetrack. Nowhere for him, the 46 or the 454 to go.
Yeah, pretty quick yellow there. For the most part, that was great driving from the entire field to keep it green as long as they did. It was almost a temporary mosh pit down the back straight away, but they kept it going, and most of these cars got through just fine. You saw that incident there with the 5 car getting a little bit loose there in the center of the corner. Gabe, I think you've driven the UMPs more recently than me. How hard is it to get one of these to stick around here at Lanier?
On entry, they drive pretty well, but once the track starts slicking off, these cars are one of the more sensitive ones on trying to get traction coming off the corner. On a slick track, these guys are going to have a lot to handle. Looks like it's starting to rubber in just a little bit. It should have enough grip on exit for not to be a worry, but grip is always a problem, especially in these UMP modifieds.
Coming back to the green for the first restart of the night, still Dustin Hall in the lead through the restart zone. He gets going really early that time, gets a great lead over Poston down into turn 1. Poston throws it in their contact. 331 gets shoved out of the way and turned around, and we should have a caution. There it is.
Ill-advised move from the 58 machine. He was actually, it looked like he wasn't even trying to throw it in there. Looks like the 331 was just not going as fast as the 58 thought he was. 58 was going to make the corner fine, but came down the racetrack. The 331 did, and ends up actually the 2 teammates, I believe, the 67 and the 331. Those guys are both teammates. I believe they have similar paint schemes. Oh, no, it doesn't look like it. But either way, the 67 who won feature number 1, he's going to get some damage in that as well as John Lide. That's going to give the 18 machine of Lee Daniel Robinson the lead. And Andrew, I told you at the top of the show that 18 was coming, and it looks like he is.
He was definitely coming. Watching over that replay a couple more times, just myself, I think The 331 might have been okay from the initial contact from the 58, but definitely Robinson threw it off into turn one and kind of finished that whole deal off, and he's going to be the benefactor here. He gets the lead, and now he's just got to worry about Christian Peterson to his outside, and of course Hunter Poston from third place. But you mentioned Sutton getting relegated to the back there after that yellow. Definitely heartbreak for him a little bit, but he still has a little while to come back. About halfway through this second UMP twin here tonight. And coming to the restart zone, it will be Lee David Robinson leading the way. Peterson on the outside, Poston down to the bottom there in third. Green flag back out. Robinson has the lead for now, and just Peterson hung with him on that restart. The rest of the field was sleeping. Peterson right on the back end of that 18 car.
This is pretty much what we were going to see in feature number one if Lee Daniel Robinson didn't get taken out. The 23 and the 18 going after it. Halfway through feature number two, Christian Peterson's in the same position he was in feature number one, trying to work the inside lane. He's got a couple more laps to do it now. He's working a little bit opposite. He had the lead at this point. Looks like it's going to be a reverse of the situation. Here comes Christian Peterson in that Vincier 23. He goes to the inside, completes the pass on the 18 of Lee Daniel Robinson. He's going to try and pull away here, closing in on 5 laps to go. A quick feature here. And here comes Jesse Isidore. He's not completely out of the picture yet. If these guys start racing, we may have a third car in this two-way battle.
These guys continue to battle at the top 5. A little further back, that'll be Hunter Poston over Scott Austin for now. But the battle is for the lead. The 18 down to the bottom side. Peterson up into the wall for just a moment. Peterson around the top now trying to cross over Robinson. Can he do it? He gets his bumper bar rather. He gets him down off into the corner. Sorry, I am all crossed up here. And the 23 down to the inside again. Peterson trying to get back to Robinson. So Robinson gets the lead back. This just opens the door more for Isidore, as you mentioned here, Gabe. But I don't think he can get there. His car just seems to be a little bit too slow when these guys get single file out. When they're battling, though, throwing sliders and throwing crossovers, he can get up there. He can try and close some time. But that 0-1-5 looking decent. I don't think he has enough for a win. Coming around to 3 to go here in just a moment.
3 laps to go at the stripe, this time by same position. I talked about it. Christian Peterson is back in it with Lee Daniel Robinson getting around him. Here we go. It's going to be 2 laps to go this time by Christian Peterson. He looks a little bit loose on exit. He's trying to find grip up there. Not going to happen for him. He's going to hit the wall. Now coming to the stripe, 2 laps to go. 1 car length gap between your top 2. Looks like Jesse Isidore just a little bit too far back, as you said, to do anything. Christian Peterson searching for grip. Can he find anything? Looks like the gap is maintaining here, coming to the white flag.
White flag is out. 1 lap to go around this 3rd mile speedway. Here comes the 23 down to the bottom side. Christian Peterson looking for grips. Can he throw it off into turn number 3? No, he cannot. It's going to be Lee David Robinson out of turn number 4, taking the second twin of the night in the Rocket Tire Services UMP Series.
Great finish and bridesmaid yet again for Christian Peterson, but Lee Daniel Robinson gets some redemption from feature number 1. Well, Landry, I got to get buckled into my late model, so good luck on the rest of the night and have fun.
Will do. Best of luck to you, Gabe, and we'll catch up with you later on, hopefully, as Lee David Robinson takes the win in the second of 2 twins here tonight in the Rocket Tire Services UMP Modified Series. We'll go trackside with him in just a moment. Lee Robinson, again, your winner. Lee Robinson, do you have a copy?
Yeah, I got you, man.
Well, Lee, what a drive there. Take over the lead after starting 7th place and hang on to it over Christian Peterson. Obviously, your car seemed to be taking the slick a little bit better than that 23 car. Just a great job.
Yeah, man, it was hooked up. I hate that I got into as many people as I did. I didn't mean to do it, but I've been getting raced pretty hard all night, so I kind of had to adjust my driving style for this race a little bit. But I got to thank everybody at ODR and Carter Speed for helping me set up these bad fast rides. Man, this is it's a lot of fun to race.
Bad fast for sure as you come home just ahead of Christian Peterson. What was going through your mind there those last couple laps of that battle?
Man, actually, when he got up into the like that middle lane, usually the middle lane's pretty good here, but I don't know, once he got by me and he got up into that middle lane, I started working the bottom a little bit, and I got back under him, and like, wow, that bottom actually works really good. So I just kind of stuck to that the whole race. I don't know, that usually that middle lane works a lot better, but the bottom definitely prevailed tonight for sure.
Well, Lee, as we gear up for the second late model twin of the night, who do you have to thank for this big win here in the UMP series?
Like I said, man, just everybody at ODR and Carter Speed, man. It's a great team that I have, and I love all the guys that I race with, and just an all-around great group of guys, man.
Well, once more, congratulations on your big win here in the second twin of the night. We'll be looking out for you in the late model twin later on.
All right, thanks, man.
And to go through your race results here in twin number 2 for the Rocket Tire Services UMP Modified Series, again, Lee Daniel Robinson pulls out the win here tonight in the second twin of 2, of course. And Christian Peterson will take second place. Jesse Isidore hangs on for third. Then it's David Sutton trying to redeem himself after getting taken out a little while earlier. Finishes fourth place. Scott Austin in fifth. That rounds out your top 5, of course. And then it's Joshua Van Gore, Hunter Poston, John Lyday, Dustin Hall, and Richard Reagan Jr. rounding out your field. Off to Evan Pasoko with the call for the second late model twin.
Second of our late model twins, and of course, the final race on week 6 of this Fort Chiswell RV Park Championship Esports Association Weekly Dirt Series presented by LSRTV. The Summer Twins night going to come to a close at the completion of the 25 laps that go up on top of the scoring pylon. And we get set to go racing just one final time. If you weren't with us right from the drop of the green flag earlier this evening, Richard Reagan Jr. took home the win in their first of the 2 feature races of the evening. So we will see if he could possibly go twofer, because David Sutton and Lee Daniel Robinson having split the Rocket Tire Services UMP Modifieds, Reagan could try to become the only driver tonight to be able to take multiple wins in one series. So, of course, we're going to keep our eyes on that one, and we did learn a lot in that first race of the evening, just like as you heard there with Lee Daniel Robinson winning the UMPs, trying out that lower line after seeing how it worked in the first race. So, kind of 25 laps or so of R&D out of the way, and this is really going to be the hotly contested one on the night. Of course, we're going to work with the intervals, so as we go trackside, this is going to be your LSRTV starting grid for the Blue Shot Marine Pro Late Models feature race number 2. TJ McGuire going to get pole position on this one, and he will be accompanied by Gabe Wood on the outside of the front row in second. Back on row number 2, the third spot belongs to the 454 of Joshua Van Gore. Jesse Isidore's 666 will start from position number 4. Christian Peterson going to make up the inside of row 3. It'll be P5 for the driver of the 71 machine, David Sutton, to his right-hand side. In the number 97 machine starts in 6th, and that marks the halfway point in your starting grid. Dustin Hall starts 7th position. Bruno Latour in 8th position. They make up row number 4. P9 Hunter Poston, P10 Lee Daniel Robinson on row 5, and then all the way at the back of row 6, Sean Cross starts in 11th, and Scott Austin starts in 12th. If you look top to bottom at your LSRTV full race results, and needless to say, Richard Reagan Jr. is not going to be able to go for the sweep. Started and won that first race. He is not registered for this second of our Blue Shot Marine Pro Late Model features. We will have certainly a first-time winner in these cars on the evening. Can't promise you that some of the faster cars from earlier in the season aren't going to be able to pick it up and make something happen as the pace truck gets set to get down and out of the way the next time around. We're so happy that you've been with us at a Wednesday night on your home for sim racing at iRacing Live. And Andrew, here we go. One final time in the Pro Late Models. Field in the hands of TJ McGuire. The roll at a turn 4. Here we go for 25 laps.
McGuire hanging on to the bottom. Gabriel Wood around the top side, loses some time up there, so McGuire takes the lead as contact reigns in the backside. And it's going to be, I think, Peterson getting through there just fine. Sutton as well on the top side.
And the 97 machine of Sutton got bounced around a good little bit. He ended up all by himself at the top side. Would have been good for him as the 454 of Van Gore takes another shot. He's somebody else who has been used up very early on in this one. But McGuire leads, Gabe Wood second, Jesse Isidore third. And then we pick up all of that action. A bit of pack. These are very big and bulky race cars. You try to stuff them into a little bit of real estate. Doesn't work out very well.
Yeah, you look at Lanier with like a sprint car or something on it, you think there's a lot of room, you throw a big late model on here, and room runs out quickly, get 2 or 3 wide, and there's nowhere to go. But so far, these guys are singling out pretty decently. Still a couple of 2 wide battles, as now Gabriel Wood is going for the lead down the front straightaway.
Awfully close to getting at the left rear quarter panel. A TJ McGuire that time, and Gabe Wood can't sit around because the 666 of Jesse Isidore wants to get up on him as well. So challenging positions 1, 2, and 3. And even Joshua Vangor now in a battle with Sutton and Robinson behind. So that little bit of separation, those couple of tenths on the scoring pylon could be very deceptive as Wood to the inside again. Not able to make the position stick, but he's certainly got his nose to the inside in the corners now, just trying to look to execute. Let's see what he does down in turn 3 as he gets right alongside him in battle for P1.
Isidore losing time as Wood still on the bottom side, getting right up next to McGuire now down the straightaways. Has the nose ahead, has the lead that time by. It's Gabriel Wood by a nose.
Gabe Wood just by a nose that time by. First lead change of the night, and now on a back straightaway, he will completely clear TJ McGuire, new race leader at the completion of lap number 7 on a big hit to the outside wall. TJ McGuire took a shunt as he smacked the outside wall, overcorrected just a little bit, and that one looked like it was going to leave a mark on that race car. Not only is he going to get the damage, but he's going to drop 4 more positions, and in the blink of an eye, your pole sitter has fallen to P6.
And that's exactly what Gabe Wood wanted, because Isidore seems to be just a little bit off right now. If he can hang David Sutton a little further back of Gabe Wood, it might buy Gabe some time before some of these faster cars catch him. Actually, as I say that, Isidore down to the inside, contact at a 2. Gabe hangs on to the lead for now, but Isidore is definitely coming. Peterson into the back end of the 97.
Into the back end of the 97 machine he gets, and certainly not going to be the last time I think we see that. Is you can see that staggered side by side all the way through the pack, but here comes Isidore in hard and onto the door of Gabe Wood. Contact for the race lead. Gabe Wood going to get into the outside wall, and now it's Jesse Isidore to the race lead at halfway.
Here comes David Sutton now into P2. He's got a great view ahead of him. He won the UMP twin earlier on, the early one that is. Now he's looking for the second of 2 late model twins. Here's the 18, gets into him. That's Robinson, and he goes around.
Gonna get turned around, and so far, no caution. Lee Daniel Robinson stuck up against the inside wall, and you can't just turn these cars around, so he's trying it out of the way, and eventually he'll take a quick tow to pit road. He could not get that car off of the racetrack, but there was no caution, so we stay green and uninterrupted from Lanier. This time by, right there actually, 10 laps to go. In the Pro Late Models, Jesse Isidore leads. David Sutton now wants to go on the attack to the inside. Can't make it work, but we've seen both times a battle for the race lead ensued. And second place, Corin Lawn was able to make it work, some with a little bit more contact involved than others. Let's see what the 97 machine can do after starting P6. He's right there in second.
David Sutton is sizing him up, now goes to the inside. Isidore goes down to close the door, but his nose was there. Sutton was down on the inside. He backs out to prevent a wreck for now, but Sutton is definitely there. He definitely has the car, I think, to get by Isidore. He is definitely still sizing that 666 car up, and he is waiting for the perfect opportunity to make a move, but he has to act quick, or Gabe Wood could be right back on him.
Yeah, that's the concern, is you obviously don't want to invite Gabe Wood right back into the conversation. Wood got up into the outside wall. It wasn't nearly the contact we saw TJ McGuire do. It was really just Gabe Wood hooked that right rear on the back straightaway. He didn't let him pitch that car into the corner, so it didn't rotate at all, and that's why he dropped off with the race lead. In all honesty, without that mistake, probably would have been able to put up a good fight defending. So while he works on trying to make up for that 0.8 of a second mistake, we are inside of 5 laps to go from Lanier, and it looks like it's going to be Isidore and Sutton to decide this one. At on 7, they'll lose in some ground with 4 laps to go.
Looks like Peterson is struggling, with corner off, and he's just not getting the run he needs down the straightaway to the next corner. Right now, Isidore has that car hooked up perfectly, gets right up on the bar, and has perfect power down the straightaway. He is just pulling away from Sutton right now. Now 2.5 laps to go.
2.5 to go from Lanier. Rattle to the end, of course. The yellow could come out right before the white flag. and we do have the ability to go green, white, checker racing. There is enough space, though, back in the pack that I don't see any sort of contact imminent, and if David Sutton's going to pull this one out of the hat, it's going to be an incredible final lap because he's a couple of car lengths off with 1 lap to go. Jesse Isidore started in 4th, rubbed up Gabe Wood a little bit to get to the race lead, and from that point on, he did not look back. Final time in turn 4, and it'll be a checkered flag and a win in the Pro Late Models. Jesse Isidore takes it to close out week number 6.
A great battle to the end as Isidore redeems himself from the previous couple of races we saw here tonight, gets that win, and it's big too.
The big win, no doubt, for Jesse Isidore. We talked about all of the different point scenarios and what have you coming into this evening, and specifically in this Pro Late Model division, which you could basically put up on that pedestal as probably the most competitive series for somebody like a Jesse Isidore to come into this one to make his first start in these cars on the season this evening. Of course, it began with that first heat race, or first feature race. But of course, as well, continuing into the second of these twin main events, very good showing for the driver of the 666 machine to get his first career win in these cars. Impressive, no doubt. We'll try to get his words on it in a moment. Before we do, look top to bottom. These are your LSRTV full race results. It is Jesse Isidore with a trip to victory lane. In the Pro Late Models, David Sutton comes home second, and Gabe Wood rounds out your podium in third. Christian Peterson just misses out on that one, but again, great points nights at all of the divisions. The driver of the 71 machine took part in as he comes home P4 with Dustin Hall in fifth. TJ McGuire can't recover from the big mistake while battling for the race lead. He falls and ends up in P6. Scott Austin seventh with Joshua Vangor in eighth. Quiet drivers at the back. Hunter posted to P9, Bruno Latour in 10th, and then Lee Daniel Robinson, you saw the mistake where he got turned around, wasn't able to recover. He finishes in 11th position. Johnny Cross comes home in 12th. That is a look top to bottom at your LSRTV full race results. Let's go trackside, get a word with the driver of the 666 machine. Jesse Isidore is your race winner from the Lanier National Speedway. Takes home twin race number 2 in the Blue Shine Marine Pro Late Models. Jesse, congratulations on the win. Great race, tons of green flag action, and certainly benefited you there. Gave you the opportunity to get up there to the inside of Gabe Wood, complete that pass. And I know David gave you a run for your money a couple of times there, but you guys were able to pull it out in the end.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much. Yeah. A lot of fun.
Yeah, well, one thing we were noting about these Pro Late Models is it tends to be, a higher car count, and of course, it's the biggest vehicle. This is one where a lot of the series veterans kind of hone in on. For you to be able to come into this series this week and find an immediate success, I'm sure it feels good. What was it like racing out on track with all these guys?
It does feel good. I race with a lot of these guys on a regular basis, and it's a lot of fun to see a lot of the fast guys all in one spot. And it definitely is difficult. And I had a little tighter car than I wanted in the beginning of the race, but it sort of came to me there at the end. So it ended up being a pretty good night.
We were talking about handling conditions. Of course, over this one, we also saw some drivers struggling with that similar tight condition in the UMP Modifieds, those bigger cars. Tell us about that, though. We see, a series with this CEA Weekly Dirt Series, like a 360 Sprint that Andrew had pointed out during the race. Very fast car. It's got a lot of zip to it, but it takes up a lot less room at a racetrack. So when you go out there in that Pro Late Model, obviously you get a lot more contact. There's a lot less real estate. How do you kind of find a balance between being able to race each other hard without completely beating up on each other? Certainly these cars can take a hit and keep on ticking.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I wouldn't say there's a lot of moving in the late models, but there's a lot of getting in real dirty and grinding with each other. I do my best to stay out of people, but especially on a little track like Lanier, you're gonna have the occasional dooring, and a lot of times guys can't brake check soon enough to stop for the guy in front of them. You have a little bit of those incidents. For the most part, these cars are like a big Cadillac. They're a little easier to drive, so it's nice when you're bumping and grinding. It's not like a sprint car where you ricochet a lot,
Well, it's really fun for us, especially topside. We get a great view. You guys lead it on each other, and you and Gabe Wood had a good bout there at about lap number 12. But after that, it was all the 666 machine, and I don't want to see you guys cruise to victory again because it looked like at 5 laps to go, David Sutton was getting ready to make a real play for it. But you guys were able to reel it back in and make it look strong at the end. You take home the win as noted in these Pro Late models. We'll let you get out of here. I know it's been a long night of racing. Before we do, though, anybody that you want to say hi to while we got you in victory lane?
Yeah, definitely. Shout out to David Sutton. He helped me a lot with the setup on this car. We bounce a lot of stuff back and forth. We're on the same team. Shout out to Gen X Bad Racing, NTAA Racing, Evil One Graphics, Folds of Honor, AMSOIL, and Christian for letting us merge with Gen X. It's been a very prosperous merger for us. So thank you very much.
We hope you guys enjoyed the rest of the season with them, Jesse. We appreciate the time. Again, congratulations on the win, and best of luck for the rest of the season.
All right, you have a good night.
Race winner in the Blue Shine Marine Pro Late Models feature race number 2, Jesse Isidore, with his first win in the Fort Chiswell RV Park CEA Weekly Dirt Series presented by LSRTV. Just kind of scanning back at some of the other weeks of competition. Again, we do have opportunities where we have nights like tonight where there's a division or a couple of divisions that race in multiple different events. Sometimes there's weeks where it is, all 6 or 7 divisions going at it, 1 race per, but certainly 6 different feature races tonight. Andrew, ties the most we've seen all season, and I think we saw great racing all the way down from the the smaller Super Street to the 360s, all the way up and through those UMP modifieds and Pro Late models on a great night of action.
Exactly as you said there, Evan, from the 7-car field in the street stocks up to these bigger fields in the late models and the UMPs, everything was good tonight. It was great racing all the way around. And of course, these guys have one constant in the track of linear, so they can fine-tune their setups to make the racing better and better throughout the season. And it certainly shows, because that was great racing all night long through all 4 divisions, all 6 races.
And that'll do it for us here tonight for week number 6. Summer Twins Night has drawn to a close from Lanier National Speedway in Brazelton, Georgia. So on behalf of our entire team at LSRTV, for myself, Evan Pasoko, for Andrew Cardinale, for Cisco Scaramuza, everybody else behind the scenes, Kyle Barnes and the Championship Esports Association, we want to thank you for tuning in and congratulate all of our race winners. 6 races, 6 different winners tonight. Richard Reagan Jr., David Sutton, Hunter Posted, Christian Peterson, Lee Daniel Robinson, and Jesse Isidore for getting the job done. Of course, still some live racing action to come to you early tomorrow night, Thursday, July the 26th, special event on LSR TV and iRacing Live. It is the 6th annual Live Golf Balls 250 at Daytona in the K&N cars. You're not going to want to miss that one. Again, it is an early start at 7:45 p.m. Eastern Time. We'll schedule on our website at www.livesimracing.com. Follow us on Facebook at facebook.com/LSRTV official and on Twitter at LSRTV. Until next time, that does it for us here from Lanier. We'll catch you next time at the Fort Chiswell RV Park CEA Weekly Dirt Series on your home for sim racing, LSR TV.